Hey, welcome all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. Let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message and the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life. Through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, to get all right thinkers to do just that. With the lessons I put forth for you daily, you tune in and put them to use, you'll do just that. Know thyself. Let's go. That's the goal. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not, and knows that they know not, is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers. Let me ask you a question. Let's talk about spiritual contentment. Do you have it? Just a question. And when I get done, you should know if this thing that I'm going to tell you about spiritual contentment falls under your understanding and what you're doing, you have it. If not, you might have to put some work in. That's what I'm saying. Let's go. See if it matches. I always match what I do against whatever's being said. See how I fall in. So let's see if you fall in on contentment. And do you have it? Contentment is to be satisfied with little. Is the greatest wisdom and knowledge that you can obtain. And they that increase their riches increase their cares. But a contented mind is a hidden treasure, and trouble find it not. If you're at peace and you're content with yourself, trouble don't bother you. The idle mind is the devil workshop. A contented mind is not idle. So the devil got no wiggle room. He'll tell you that. The devil's worst enemy is a right thinker. I sent the message out. I sent the shows out. He'll let you know he got, 8 out of every 10 believers in God, they really serving him and don't know it. So another lesson. But let's talk about contentment. Now, contentment is a difficult feeling to develop. Why? Because we mostly spend our time, thinking about what we need to accomplish in the future, or what we did or didn't do in the past. Mine is back and forth, okay? Other times, we worry about what might happen in the future, or we even regret what happened in the past. See where we're going with this? See how the mind, an uncontented mind is an uneasy mind. Sometimes we worry about what someone else is doing or not doing. Why can't they just listen to me? Who the H is you? My philosophy is, when you give advice to somebody, you should be using and taking that advice, or don't give it. Simple as that. When you got you together, then you can help others get themselves together. If you ain't got you together, stop lending hand. Why? You ain't good at it. You ain't got yours together. So why should they listen to you? Hence, master teacher, know thyself. I can help you do that. Anything else, you're on your own. So I'm not here to do nothing other than get you to have knowledge of self. That's it. To become a content mind. If you're already there, you'll know from this. I'm going over the discipline, the concept, what constitute contentment. I know the best way, again, that person, you know everything except you. What's this? Or what disastrous mistakes were made upon what? Upon close investigation, all attainments of what? Worldly nature occur in the realm of what? Relative reality, which is the physical one which we live in. This is not the ultimate. Therefore, what? All worldly accomplishments, watch this, regardless of their far-reaching or minute consequences, or what? Are bound to a sure end and will eventually be what? Forgotten as the pages of history turn. Again, it's telling you where we at. All your worldly accomplishments, everything you did at the time of death means absolutely nothing. And some of it that do will only be there for a minute. We tend to, we forget a lot of stuff, okay? But that's the concept. And watch this. Even those who what appear to have had what the greatest impact on the world have faded into the mist of history. That's what happens. Therefore, it must be clear that what? That all worldly attachments are only pursuits of mental illusions if they are pursued from an egotistical, philosophical, psychological outlook, meaning just for the satisfaction of it, just to be able to say, I did it, okay? But more important, watch this, then what we do is what? How we do it. Are we working to achieve what? Purity of heart, gaining knowledge of self with the virtue and mental peace which comes from what? Washing, aka purifying your heart, living and doing the right thing, offering up a selfless service, giving of oneself, somebody else, without want something in return from the person you do it for. Why? Because you get yours from them by doing what's right. That's the difference. If somebody slapped my face, and one time I say, man, we fighting. Yeah, that's the bitter one to swallow for me. The wisdom part of me said, dude, and you remember, you do what's right. If you do what you want to do, there's a consequence that come with that. So I might have to, it pains me to say this, my pastor be proud of me. I might have to turn the other cheek. I'm not proud of that, but I get it. So moving on, watch this, perfect segue. The ego. My ego wouldn't allow me to do that at one point in my life. No, trust me. So again, that change that we make, that self-growth, okay, that we get better at certain things, that's the perfect example. Watch this. Why? Because the ego places importance on what is accomplished in what? The past, or what needs to be accomplished in the future. Not realizing the illusionariness of its own desires of what? Worldly possessions, worldly things, status, positions. The person whose spirit identifies with the ego driven mind, watch this, will what? Will believe that achievements in this world, in this realm of time and space, what we know to be what? Relative reality, they believe they are really real. So they live for that. Thus, they place mental thinking time either into what? The future or the past, not focusing on the now. And watch this. So consequently, a form of what? Automatic consciousness develops in which the present moment is lost. Again, worrying about everything except what they should be doing now. You know people like that? Yeah, I have to keep telling you. If I'm explaining these kinds of people, characteristic personality that you can see and recognize, because it's right there. If you don't know nobody like that, it's probably you. So look at you first. Never mind looking at no. Check you first. That's what I do. Only way I can instruct, teach, or give advice about what I'm doing is if I've already done it and mastered it for myself. And the other way, it don't work. So that's my point. Moving on. The present moment, here we go, is where spiritual development, again, best occurs. Why? It is also where life may be lived most fully in the now, in the moment. Not what you did before, not what you're going to do, what you're doing now. Those who do not live in the present, watch this, wake up one day after 10, 20, 30, or 40 years of what? On a job, ready to retire, wondering, where did my life go? See? Why? Because you're too busy chasing an illusion. Watch this. And shortly thereafter, what happens? You die. It's fact. Not a guess, not an assumption. It's a fact of life. But watch this. Now, having spent their last few years regretting what they did not do or what they should have done if I could have, would have, should have with their lives. If you one of them people, stop. Just start living in now. You can't change yesterday. You can't know what tomorrow's going to be. So deal with the now. You can do it. You can change the now. Simple. That's right thing. Philosophy concept. Watch this. A poor person worries about getting money, naturally, and possessions, whereas what? A rich person does what? Worries about losing them. Again, that balance, okay. Well, what happened? Neither one has what? Mental peace. See? You have a bunch of money, you worry about losing it. You got no money, you worry about getting some. See? Watch this. So therefore, it is not one's circumstances that will determine whether or not what? One has mental peace, but it is one's attitude in dealing with what? Life circumstances that is the critical factor in what? Achieving mental peace and spiritual contentment. You are the driving force behind all that. Contentment, spiritual contentment, watch this, is the only way to reach spiritual contentment is what? When the mind is free from the worldly illusions and about the past or the future. Again, get in the moment. When the mind, what? Finally realizes